The following podcast is a Dear Media production.
Okay, guys. Welcome to Probably Podcast. And that's on consistency because I'm so fucking hungover right now. And God bless. You know who we're going to bless? God bless, and I hope she is highly favored for the rest of her days. Producer Courtney, who was like, hey, I see you on social media. Don't forget, we're recording today. And I was like, Courtney, I'm not going to forget. I'm just not going to be able to do that. And she's like, okay, I'll be over. Fix yourself. And I'm like, okay. Here's the thing. She's a network girlie now, okay? She's got to get her episodes out. Before, I could say, you guys know me. You know? It's just me and you. And guess what? I'm hungover and I couldn't do an episode. And y'all would have been like, and I would have been like, and we would have just done it, right? I would have just not done it. Now, I gotta do it. But we're doing it. Also, absolute elite sauce to be. I hate the clear cups, by the way. Shouts out Sarah Bell. She's so right. Like, literally, the white cups that you can't see through are just somehow so much better for. Gonna upset a lot of people. Sorry, I just got kind of nauseous. I don't fuck with Diet Coke. Disgusting. I think it tastes flat. I think it's nasty. I think diet or regular Coke is far superior. I know everyone's favorite thing to drink when they're hungover is like a fountain Diet Coke from McDonald's, but like I think it tastes like trash water. I really do. I think Diet Coke is trash water and regular Coke is way better. So, you know, unfollow me if you have to. Go speak to your therapist about me if you have to, but those are my thoughts. My thoughts also are that if you're gonna eat McDonald's fries, which they totally fucking skimp me on, by the way, like they literally barely put any in there, you should dip it in honey mustard because their honey mustard fucks. Also, I got a double cheeseburger. It wasn't the best, but I have another one in the bag, so I'll give it a second turn. Give it a second go and just see if maybe the second one's different. So you're probably thinking to yourself, how'd you get yourself in this position, Shannon? Like, what could you have done to feel this way? I'll tell you what, all of it. And no one is to blame other than not myself. I'm obviously never to blame. No one is to blame more than Claudia Oshry. And that's on God. She really hazes people when you go out with her. She makes you drink so much alcohol. No, she really doesn't. But we just had so much fun and we drank way too much alcohol. She did get on a flight. And that's like something, sorry, I don't want the whole podcast to just be like McDonald's packaging ASMR. So we'll try to like relax for a second with the drinking of the Coke. But yeah, we went out. Her friend Abe came. I had met him once in New York. He was a ball of fun. And then we went to her show. Obviously, producer Courtney came with me to the show. So funny. Some of you girls saw her in the audience and were like, I got some DMs, Courtney, that were like, after I posted the selfie that was like, I saw y'all there. I didn't know that was producer Courtney. I'm like, that's her. You're always behind the camera. Oh, she's got little headphones on me. Like, I know. She's just so cute. She really is. So went to Claudia's show, Not Like Other Girls tour. It was so good. Honestly, so I saw her in New York and she's added some stuff and changed some stuff up and plus obviously like customized some like cute jokes for Nashville. I'm like so not well. Hold on. It's like my stomach is making like very funny sounds. And I was really impressed that I like just one laughed at all the same jokes I'd already heard and two like all the new stuff she added was just so good. So that was so fun. And then we went honkytonkin. And normally when we go out like on Broadway in Nashville, like me and my girlfriends will still do it every once in a while. Like Taylor and I and Anna Grace will still like dabble. We will go to cute rooftops and we go to like the parts of Broadway that maybe play like more like hip hop music or like remixes of country music, whatever. No. Miss Oshry with no job, she said, I want to go motherfucking honky-tonkin. But I don't have the plugs and I always want to be able to like help people out, like skip the line, do whatever. I'm like, I don't like know like I don't really do that. Like I love country music and y'all know that about me. I really do. But like I just don't like know. I don't know how to get us into like legends. I mean, and then she was like, let's just go. And I was like, okay, cool. As long as you don't care. So we just like, you know, went to all these fucking honky tonks. And when I tell you, it's been so long since I've done that. Maybe like when I first came to Nashville, I just like did a tour de honky tonk. That shit is so fun. Like it's rare that I'm hungover and think that was worth it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like we're all, I live in this constant state of like, you wake up the next morning and you're like, why the fuck did I even do that? What the fuck was the point of that? No, last night was so much fun. It actually is worth this hangover right now. We sang, well, Claudia could not stop banging her fucking foot going, got a little boom in my big trunk. And I was like, that was really a lot of movement for me. And I was like, Claudia. And so obviously when that song came on, she just loved it. And let me tell you something about that bitch. She will request a motherfucking song. She will go up to the people singing and request it. And if they're like, we already just sang that, she's like, okay, well, let's go ahead and sing it again. Let's go ahead and throw it back on the track. And so we were just singing, dancing, laughing, having the best time ever. Seeing all the toasters out in the wild as well was really fun. And it was great. So worth the hangover. But as we've mentioned before, hangovers when you're 28, they just hit different. Also, a month and a couple weeks, I'll be 29, and that's nuts. That's knucking butts, okay? But I actually don't really care, and I feel like 29 is a really insignificant year. Not that, like, insignificant things are going to happen to me in 29. Like, some really cool stuff's going to happen to me, but, like, age-wise, kind of stupid. But last time we guys talked, James was with me. So cute. You guys love the episodes with him. Avi, me too. And I just love staring at him. He left. Well, we went to, the last thing y'all heard was, sorry, just like one more. The last thing y'all heard was we went to the, we went to the South Carolina, okay? We went to my parents' house and in Charleston. So Gilbert, the lake, Charleston, all of that. It was really fun. My parents adored him. I mean, he's just like so easy to like. And I just knew, you know, when you're like nervous, I was never like nervous for him to meet my parents. Like, I just knew he'd crush it. Actually funny. He was like, I was not nervous for you to meet my parents. I was like, really? My redneck ass from Nashville who has a podcast that talks about sex and drugs that I've occasionally done recreationally when I'm in another country one time. If his mom's listening, like, I really don't like it. I'm never going to do it again. It was terrible. But like, I was like, you weren't nervous for me to meet your parents? And he was like, no, like not at all. Like you were, I knew you'd be great. And I was like, oh, it's really comforting. But yeah, the same respects. I just like wasn't worried about him meeting my parents. Plus my parents are just like so fucking friendly, accepting, and kind and nice. They basically just like love anyone that's fun too. And James is fun. So, yeah, we went there. It was great. A lot of people asking about him not meeting my sister. So my sister and her wife live in Texas. So I wasn't going to be like, hey, Emery, fucking buy a plane ticket in the middle of the week on a random week to come meet my boyfriend. Like, I mean, it'll obviously happen. He'll get to meet her when the time comes. But yeah, it wasn't like I was flying in all my family to meet my boyfriend. We're planning on him being in America another time. So, and they've like met on FaceTime and stuff. But yeah, so that was fun. The ocean was just like it was cold. You know what I mean? Like, it's October. We had lovely beach days. And James, that is not enough for Mr. Middleton, okay? He wants to get into the water. You know that scene from The Notebook where he's like, get in the water. Get in the water. And I'm like, that is James. He's literally like telling me to get in the water at all times. And I'm like, babe, it is fucking cold. Like, we don't get in this shit unless it's July. But I did go in one time with him at like 5 p.m. And then the next morning, because he did these like morning dips, he'd be like, are you going to come with me this time? And I finally was like, you know what? I know you say it's good for you. I know you say like you should wake up every day and do something that's hard or challenging and it's like helps refresh your body, whatever. But like, I don't want to. Like, and he was like, that's the point. You do something you don't want to do. And I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And we don't have to always do everything together. We're like, I don't have to be just like you. I don't have to be as excited, like, as healthy as you know what I mean? He's like, okay. But I will say this, his mom made a good point. His mom like messaged him and was like, oh, James, like girls can't just like hop in the sea and hop out, like literally our hair, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to, and I had beachy hair a couple of days I was here, but I just washed it at one point. I was like, I'm not trying to fucking sit here and do that. But you know what? I also got asked a lot. I got asked about, I mean, like I could fall asleep right now. Like, even though there's a fucking giant light on me right now, like, I could just fucking fall asleep. Oh, I got a lot of questions about my tan. People are like, how do you keep your tan so good during on vacation? One, I always reapply tan. Like, by the time I see it's, like, almost gone, I'll spend one night, like, scrubbing, which it, like, kind of just, like, falls off me at that point, and then I'll just, like, re-tan myself. I was lucky because I was here, so I have my spray tan machine here in Nashville, so after New York, I spray tan myself here before Charleston, after Charleston. Ooh, I will say, God, I use this like foam that I did not like, which is weird because I don't want to throw shade at the foam, so I'm not even going to name it. Because I have used it before and liked it. So I don't know if some shit was off or if the bottle was old or probably a me thing. But I hated this like bottle foam tan I gave myself when we were leaving Charleston. And I just was like, great. The last like vision that James has of his girlfriend before we don't see each other for like a month and a half was this like splotchy orange, like not cute spray tan. Like my feet were horrendous. Like I'm just a bitch that really always takes pride in her spray tans, and my spray tans are always just absolutely fucking on par. Like the feet were bad, the hands were bad, the underbelly chicken cutlet of the back of my like legs were bad. Like, oh, it was so bad. The armpits were like this brownish green color. Like I just remember being like, this was such a fail. And I'm like, bye babe, I'm gonna miss you. Just to see my body one more time before we leave. He's probably like, no, with the lights off, please. You smell. But yeah, so that one was a little tricky. I guess I don't have like a foolproof plan for staying tan for 3 weeks when you're on vacation, which I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do in South Africa. Is it so extra if I bring my spray tan airbrush machine? Like I think I will actually carry on. I'm going to South Africa in a month now. So we're still going to have the podcast airing, by the way, while I'm in South Africa. Don't worry. And I'm going to try to record some while I'm there because I think that'd be cool. But yeah, so basically we did that. And then we went to South Carolina. Then we went back to New York. And then he left. And let me tell you something. I was fucking sad. I was literally not expecting. And like, obviously, like I clearly like James so much, right? But like, I was not expecting to be that upset. And then I think I figured it out. I think it's because I left him like every other time. I've left London. I've left Portugal. Left London again. And you like leave and you give a hug bye. And then you are like, oh, I miss him. But you're like, my luggage, my shit, my iPad, my AirPods, are they charged? Now I'm at the airport. Now I'm checking in. Now I'm getting fucking pat down. They want to know if I have a bomb. I tell them it's not Tuesday, so I didn't bring it. And all these things are swirling through your mind. And then you get on your fucking 8-hour flight back. It's not really 8 hours, like 6. And then you get to your Uber. It's like so many steps that like it almost prevents you from like processing that you're sad and you miss him. And then by the time you get home, you like walk in and you're thinking about unpacking, doing all your shit. You've been talking to him now on the phone for so long since you left the country. Like, I don't know. I never really thought about these things, right? And then James leaves me, as in I just walk down the elevator with him. He gets in his Uber from New York to go to JFK. And literally, like, the second I, like, stepped foot back into the elevator, I was, like, involuntarily, like, I know you don't usually voluntarily cry, but, like, my nose just, like, burned. And I was, like, kind of shocked. I was like, oh, my God, I'm so sad. Like I am crying because I'm so sad. I felt so sad and lonely. Like I go upstairs to my apartment and I was like, thank God I was smart. And Taylor was like, you should come back to Nashville. And so then I had about 20 minutes to get my bag like together and go downstairs and get my own Uber to go to LaGuardia because I flew back to Nashville that night. That was like a really smart thing to do because I got home to Nashville. Again, I had like the packing, the get on a plane, whatever. That kind of distracted me. But had I just like had to go upstairs and get in my like, also New York in itself is just a pretty fucking lonely place. You know, like here it's like warm, cozy. I've got like my house, my people, my like pillows and blah, blah, blah. There, I was like walking upstairs and I was like, this is fucking bleak and sad. But yeah, I just wasn't expecting that. So it was more sad. So I woke up on Wednesday and then Thursday was yesterday. Let me tell you, that is one day. So I was talking to him for 1.5 days and he just went on this retreat. It's like all his friend wanted to do for his 30th birthday. I met his friend. He's like a really cool guy. His name's Louis, and for his 30th birthday, he wanted to go on this like men's retreat where they like hike through the woods. Basically, like it's so intense. I'm sure James will talk about it on his social media, but like they don't do anything. Like they don't eat unless they find it and cook it. Like they have to like carry around like a 40-pound backpack, like which in London they call rock sacks. Weird. And so like it's really intense. And the number one thing is like they don't like no phones. And I was just kind of like, for me, I was like, the thing sounded like interesting until you're telling grown-ass adults they can't have their phones. Like, it's just kind of weird. Like, they can have their phones, but no, they can't. So James obviously thinks it's cool and he wanted to like submerge himself in being like unplugged and whatever. But I personally was like, smuggle that fucking shit in. And he was like, no, babe, that defeats the purpose. And I was like, oh, okay, fine. So I don't think he'd have service if he had his phone anyways, because they are really in the middle of nowhere in Wales hiking. Literally my worst nightmare. Like, absolutely not. And so yeah, I won't talk to him for 3 days. And I've talked to him every day since like we met in Barcelona. Actually, just like, oh my God, I'm so toxic. I was hungover in bed and I was like scrolling. And also because we use WhatsApp, I don't know how to explain it. It was like way more efficient. I don't know if it was like scooting past him faster, but I scrolled all the way back to the first text messages we sent each other, like the day after we had our one night stand. And I just like was sitting there just like reading them, like from May 17th. That's so fucking weird, right? Like at first I was just looking at photos and I was like, oh my God, look. And like it was actually kind of cute because I was like, he was like, had so much fun last night, like thanks, something. And I was like, you could tell I was trying so hard to be cool. I was like trying to like throw little jokes in there. Like I wasn't fucking funny. But yeah, I've just been on a toxic downward spiral. So can't wait. Tonight I will be doing absolutely fucking nothing. Taylor asked me to go get ramen and I said, no, that requires leaving my house. I'm not going to get ramen with you, but she'll just bring it here, I'm sure. And, I have a confession to make. I already told producer Courtney and she laughed at me and I know she's laughing at me, not with me 100%. So basically, if you guys are watching this on YouTube right now, you'll see it. We'll insert it. And if you're listening, go to the Instagram page because we'll find a home for it somewhere there. Although I shudder to think. Okay. So, also I thought I should reference that or just mention this. Jennica and I went to the Jack Harlow concert right after our podcast, or like maybe like a week after our podcast. Can't remember now. That was like a really humbling experience. I just realized this was in my notes. So sorry. I know this is like a big random jump over. That was a really humbling experience because we got pit tickets. Wouldn't recommend. Wouldn't recommend if you're not like 16 like her daughter and just like absolutely loving and living life, because we were like, I'm like spitting on the mic. We were literally like, I'm quaking thinking about it. Like I was like, do I have plantar fasciitis? Like why do my feet hurt so bad? And she was like, I cannot stand this song. Because of course you have to like get to the front and then you just have to wait there. And his openers, who I love, City Girls, were awesome. The openers before City Girls, like I didn't know any of their songs and I couldn't really hear them. And I honestly did not think they were that good. Sorry, no shade, but like kind of shade. City Girls absolutely fucked. They were so good. But like even still, like, you know what I mean? Like I would have loved to listen to them sitting. Like I would have loved to be like in the rows a couple like spaces back, like it was like a pit and then there was like a, what do you call that? Like the arena part, like the seating part that's like, you know, above the pit. It's like it's like at a slant. What are the fuck the seats, right? They're just further away, but I would have thrived. And we just both kept saying that. So then Jack Harlow, obviously he says they're going to come out at fucking 10. He comes out at 10:30. We've been saying since 7:30. Then I'm like using the math against my own psyche. I'm like, I've been standing for 3 hours. Like I'm so fucking tired. And it was just not a vibe. And the fucking pit smelled like literal like piss. And let me tell you something. Oh, because people were peeing. People were peeing in bottles that didn't want to leave the front row. They were peeing in bottles. And do you know what a pit full of pee smells like? It smells like fucking piss. It literally smells like piss, and it was so gross. And then like obviously, which I know this is good, but because of like all that, I'm assuming the concerts recently where people have like really gotten in some trouble, and you know, even that horrific thing with Travis Scott's concert, I've been noticing at any concerts, like these artists are absolutely like looking out or stationing people to look for anyone that needs water. And at some point they were like throwing waters to people, and I was like all for it because yes, I do not want people to pass out, but also like everyone's gotta pee and no one's leaving, so then they're peeing in the bottles. So I was kind of like, maybe we only give the water to the people who need it for an emergency, okay? Because like everyone doesn't need to be this fucking hydrated. Everyone is peeing in these bottles and no one was stopping them. It was so sick. Okay, it was so gross. And Annica and her friend were with us, and they were having the literal time of their lives, like weaseling their way to the front, and we were already in like the third standing row. So like, we're gonna get to the front somehow. We're like, that is the journey you two are on. Many blessings. Please go forth. We wish you well. And they did, by the way. Classic 16-year-olds. They just did it. And then, you know, I love Mr. Jack. I really do. And like I'm such a stan for his music. I knew every song that he played. However, like Jennica and I at one point looked at each other and we were both like, I don't even think we said words. We were like, yeah. And we both just left. We waited for her daughter in the car, and Jennica texted Annica that like, hey, we're in the car, because Jennica doesn't drink, so she drove, and I didn't drink because I was there the whole time and I didn't want to pee in a bottle. But yeah, we drove back, so we were like, we're waiting for you in the car, and she wrote back and was like, I'm so embarrassed, like I cannot believe you left, like I'm so embarrassed for you. And Jennica was like, what the fuck? And she was like, seriously, like embarrassed for you. I was like, okay, Annica. But yeah, that was in my notes, and I did feel like that was important to say that I'm just no longer a pit girly. Don't invite me to a pit. Don't think you're splurging on me and gonna get excited and say like I got you pit tickets to Taylor Swift. Like, I love Taylor Swift with my whole heart and soul. Like, I'm not kidding, like my literal heart and soul, which we just had this conversation the other day, Courtney. No one thinks I'm a Swiftie. Sorry, they're always surprised when they find out I'm a Swiftie, because like we all did kind of say like we don't really want to associate ourselves with Swiftie behavior, because some of y'all are fucking wild at, like y'all are just like wild as fuck. Like really, some of the stuff y'all do and say is fucking cringy. I personally am a Swiftie, but I'm not gonna put myself in the same category as like the fucking Looney Tune badoons of you guys, okay? Because y'all are wackadoodle dandies. So anyways, no shade, but shade. I don't want to sit in the pit for Taylor Swift either. I'm not interested. I absolutely am not interested in the pit because I'm too old for that shit. Okay, and then what was I saying? Oh, this is my confession that I made to Courtney. Okay. All right. So the trip with James, right? I had planned it all out. So like in my notes section, you can literally see it's like America, and then it says like Sunday, and then it says like I'll pick you up from the airport. It was like a whole itinerary that I wrote out and was like I was gonna send it to him. And then I'm like, and then we head to Nashville, and then we head to the lake. And he obviously knew the states we were going, but like he didn't know the specifics, right? And so I had written it all out to send to him. And then I was like, oh my God, I had this cute idea, because I was looking for someone to make some like podcast material that I have. Like, there's a lot of like really creative people who can like make cartoons of you. Is that the right word? Like graphically like turn you into a cartoon and whatever. And I hear it's like not that, like, it's not that it's not hard to do. I fucking could never do it. It's like coding and all that shit. But I hear it's like a really easy thing to get your hands on, especially because there's this like website, no free advertisements, I'm not even gonna say it, but there's this website where you can like go and find creatives that do this stuff. Creators, yeah, that like make this stuff. And so I was like, oh, okay, I'll go on there. And so I went on there and I like just type in like animation like for hire, whatever. And yeah, they like animate you. That's what it was. And oh my God, like so many options pop up, like so many. And the pricing to me wasn't insane. It was like, I want to say like what I ended up paying total was like $300 or something. And I was like, cool, for like a 30-second video. I was like, honestly, I'm impressed. And they said the turnaround rate was like 4 days. Oh, this is another thing I didn't tell you, Courtney. He also was like late. He was also like, I need more time. I was like, okay, you know what? It's your craft, and I know how good this video is going to be. So I had this crazy idea. I'm like, okay, what if I do, while I was looking for people to make me into a cartoon for like the probably podcasting, which I still need to figure that out from a different avenue once I show you guys this. I was like, wouldn't it be so cute to like send James a video and it's like an animation of us like going to New York. It's like I didn't expect it to be high end or anything, right? Like I just wanted to be kind of like clip art, like do like two characters like bunny bouncing, like the little TV shows that you see for kids, like they're like one character, nothing about it needed to be 3D. Like I was just like, it would just be like cute clip art, like now James and Shannon go to New York. And okay, I'm just gonna read you guys the description. I paid this guy to make an animation. It says, okay. Oh, and by the way, like when I looked at his like stuff he said he could do, it was like way more than I even needed. So I was like, I kept reiterating, like, don't worry, it does not have to be that professional. Do not worry, it does not have to be like, over the top or anything. That was probably a mistake. Okay. It says detailed description of movement for each character and the object. I said, my boyfriend and I are long distance and I've been to visit him in London several times, but this is his first trip to America to see me. I thought it'd be cool to tell him our itinerary for the trip with an animated video of us. I'll attach a picture of both of us. First of all, insert the pic. Stunning. I'll show you. I looked stunning. This is the photo, okay, that I give them for us. It's like so cute. We both look so hot. So I said, I will attach a pic of both of us. I have red hair, so that'll be an easy character trait to add. Okay, shut up, Shannon. I don't mind what direction you take creatively. Should have cared. Okay, and I just want the basis to be centered around what we're doing and where we're going. It's as follows. James flies from London to New York. We go to Little Italy, Central Park. We see a Rangers game at Madison Square Garden. We visit Times Square, etc. You don't have to add all those, of course, as backgrounds. You can just make it very New York. So then I'm like literally expecting like a little like Times Square scene, a little like scene with Rangers. And when I was thinking of like the Rangers game, right, I'm thinking like the fans could literally just be like dots. Like he didn't have to draw like fans in an arena. Like I'm just thinking like super chill, right? Okay. Then, sorry, it's funny if you've seen the video. As I'm reading this, it's even funnier if you've already seen the video. Then I said, just make it all very New York. Then we both fly from New York to Nashville, Tennessee. Think cowboy boots, very country. Then we both fly to Charleston, South Carolina, and we're staying on the beach. Then we drive to Lake Murray, South Carolina, and we stay at the lake. Then James' character flies back to London. I'm just kind of picturing a cheesy road trip vibe for the characters, car, plane, whatever, and then like explain a little bit more about like details. But yeah, so this is the video. Okay, so that was the video. Who is that lady? Who is that woman? Who is that woman? Put her side by side of the photo I sent and that my character. Who is she? Who is she? That is so not me. He didn't even make the hair that red. Like, what the fuck? I was so, like, I'm not that vain, and I was so fucking mad. Like, I was like, I don't look like that. You know I don't look like that. I sent you photos of me. Like, I feel like he was trying to, like, put me in my place. Like, you're not as fucking pretty as you think you are, bitch. This is my description of you. I'm like, ugh. Okay, like, I just, like, could not. Okay, that was just upsetting, to say the least. Furthermore, Nashville. Think country music, Tennessee, what I say, cowboy boots, very country. We walked past some fucking bushes, dude. Like, we literally walked past bushes. Bushes. I didn't say anything about bushes in it. I said cowboy boots, country, honky tonk. Bushes? That was Nashville, okay? The rest was okay. Like, the beach scene was honestly, like, pretty cute. I feel like I just got bit by a mosquito. Not in my house. The beach scene was, like, decently cute. Let me just reiterate that once it was done, after you asked for more time for that, it's, like, no shade for the, like, creator, but, like, kind of shade. Like, I don't think it was good. I don't. I think he needs just a little bit more work before he starts charging people. But yeah, I will say after he asked for more time, which I did happily give him because I thought it was going to be iconic. After he asked for more time and I did give it to him, he was like, by the way, James knows nothing about this. I've never even like made it funny and told him about it and shit. Like he knows nothing about this. He's never seen this video. So I need to tell him. He'll be like, I'm just so embarrassed. He'd be like, why would you even do that in the first place? Like who does that? Who spends $300 to like make a video animation of the itinerary? Like that is so fucking stupid and extra. But like, I don't know. If it came out iconic, I was going to be like, yay. And he would have been like, that's so cute. But because it was a flop, I'm like embarrassed. I'm like embarrassed to say I did that and that it turned out so shitty. But yeah, he asked if I wanted to pay $50 more for sound effects. And I was like, do I need that? I might just overlay music. And he was like, no. Like, I'm going to put some pretty cool sound effects in there. If you want to revert back to the video, you can hear, like the fucking plane takes off. Like that's, I think there were some birds chirping in one of the scenes. Like it was so $50 extra for sound effects was something. Okay. Anyways, I needed to get that off my chest and just confess that I did that. And that is why sometimes in life, like you should just do fucking less. Like, a lot of the times in your life, if you're thinking, I should do the most, do less. Just think about it for a second and then do less. Okay. And what else? Oh, y'all sent me some questions. I said, what do y'all want to ask me when we are hungover? Let's see. You know what I'm getting so annoyed about as I sit here and eat my McDonald's? The air vents for the apartment above me are like right above me. And I know for a fact because like I smelled a cigarette once and I was like, someone's smoking in their apartment and I can smell the cigarette and it's coming through my vent. But what annoyed me more was they cook and I smell the food they're cooking in my apartment and I'm like, ew, go fucking eat out like everyone else does in New York. Why are you cooking? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you cooking here? People don't cook in New York. Why are you doing that? That was really annoying me, and that was in my notes for some reason, so I must have felt passionate about it. Oh, this is a shout out to Lauren and Jordan, who I did meet in Columbia, South Carolina. Oh, I did. Yeah, they were wonderful. She just got engaged, and I was obsessed with her engagement ring. Literally, you were so sweet, Lauren. Copying your ring maybe one day because it was gorgeous. And I did forget to say that we went to the Gamecock. Sorry, this is like a really weird jump around. I'm just like reading my notes. When I tell you this was not motherfucking prepared, this was not prepared. Okay, one of the questions was thoughts on breaks / giving people space in long-term relationships. Like, your relationship rules still apply. I just don't get those. Like, I really honestly don't, because, well, one, I guess I'm like, so I've heard of breaks where y'all like take a break. Well, obviously we know the iconic line in Friends, like, we're on a break. Like, I don't think you should be on a break, because I personally wouldn't be able to get over anything that happened during the break. Like, I've heard of people breaking up, just full on breaking up, and then like, I don't know, a year later they realize that they want to get back together, and they just like are each other's forever, and like then they get back together. But no one's ever like doing this tit for tat thing, because y'all are on a break and y'all are still keeping up with each other, and relationship rules still applied. So what did you do when we weren't dating? It's almost like, if y'all break up, you broke up. So I think if you're thinking about having a break or taking some space with your partner, I think you need to break up. I really do. I think you need to break up, because I don't think that you should then just, if they need space from you, you should still have all these like rules and regulations that come with being in a relationship with someone. So like, I really do believe that if you and your partner are talking about taking a break or needing space from each other, then I think you should just break up. And if later on down the road y'all end up getting back together, then whatever the fuck happened during that break or that time apart, sorry, not a break, because I think breaks are stupid, whatever happened when y'all weren't together is like not up for discussion, and it's no one's business but your partner's, and he doesn't have to tell you, because like, it's just kind of weird to be like, what'd you do when we were gone? It's like, do you really want to know that? So I've always kind of had that outlook on breaks. I just don't get them. Like, if I had a friend that was like, we're on a break, I'd be like, why? Just break up with him. Like, break up with them. Personally. Oh, this is funny. Favorite Kardashian or Jenner? Let me think, because Taylor asked me tonight. This is actually so unlike her. She's not like a Kardashian hater or anything, but like, it's so weird. She's just not a Kardashian like watcher. And she was like, I watched the Kardashians on Hulu and I was obsessed. And I was like, well, no fucking shit, they're iconic. Like, I'm like such a Kardashian stan. I was like, well, duh. And she was like, can we watch it tonight? Like, it was like a secret. I was like, yeah, we can watch it tonight. You're so crazy. You can watch it tonight. My favorite, it changes. My favorite Kardashian or Jenner. I don't like, you know how everyone is obsessed with Kourtney right now? I wouldn't put her as my fave, but like, of course, like, they're all just so obsessive-able. Like, you can be obsessed with all of them individually. I'm trying to think of who I just like really stan. Kendall has always seemed very cold to me. I'm sure she's a lovely person. She's Scorpio though, so that checks out. Kylie, I feel like doesn't give us any of her life anymore. So I'm like, who are you, girl? What are you doing? What's your fucking son's name? You changed it and you're not telling us. Kim is just iconic. God, I might go Khloe. I might go Khloe just because like, it's just so hard not to be like so rooting for her at all times and like love her. And she is actually funny, but I like the like new side of Kim we're seeing with like her dating and just like posting her kids more often and everything not being so curated. Like, I fuck with Kim on that, but I think I'd pick Khloe. Yeah, right now. It does change. It really does. Am I forgetting one? No. 3 and then 2. Yeah, okay, I got it. So I would say Khloe right now. Plans when we're in Africa. I don't know. Like, I've never been to Cape Town. I basically am just following his lead because he literally like has like stayed abroad there for like very long stints. He was just there this year in February for 2 months, like January and February. So he's like obsessed with Cape Town. He loves it. He says it's so much fun. I'll be there during my birthday. He planned something, like, I don't want to make fun of it because like I'm so thankful and I'm happy, but like it was like a safari or something, and I was like, is this what you want to do for your birthday or is this what I want to do for my birthday? And he was like, you're gonna love it. And I think I will, but he won't give me too many details. I do know horses are involved and I love horses, but I was like, do I have to wear a helmet? Which, like, that's so fucked up. Like, people die all the time from falling off horses. You should totally wear a helmet, but like it kind of crushes the vibe. Like, I grew up riding horses, obviously, and like my best friend Drew, her family like lived on a farm with a bunch of horses. It was gorgeous. So like after school sometimes we'd ride horses, and we honestly got really sucked into this video game called Horseland for a while. It was a weird time in my life. We did some diabolical shit too. We like stole Horseland money from other people on Horseland, like Neopet chips. It was really weird. That was dark. I think we got a letter from a parent one time that was like, we know what you did. Anyways, that's a sidebar for another time, but we were pretty fucked up and diabolical on Neopets and Horseland. Did you guys ever play those games? What was the other ones? Like Club Penguin and shit? I was like very into computer games when I was younger. But yeah, so we would ride horses every day after school, and it would be, or not every day, but whatever. It would be like just us saddling up the horses and riding, because I don't know, I guess we just like did that as kids. Like I also like grew up in a world where like when I went riding my bike around the neighborhood, we didn't put helmets on. So I don't know why, but I'm like, okay, I want to look like cute and I don't want to wear a helmet on this fucking horse. And he's like, Shannon, everyone will be wearing helmets and you will be wearing a helmet. And I'm like, all right, fine, I'll wear the helmet. It's safe. I'm sure someone's going to message me after listening to this being like, I know someone who literally is dead as shit because they didn't wear a helmet on a horse. So fuck you. And I'll be like, fuck, okay, sorry, I'll wear the helmet. I guess. But yeah, I don't know what I'm doing for my birthday fully. He just planned something really beautiful apparently, and I can't wait to see. Although it does not sound like I'm that excited. I really actually am. I really am, because everything he plans is always so fucking cute. Okay, let's see. So one of the questions was, well, I get like a bunch of different versions of this question, but basically someone was like, how do you meet friends like, you know, Anna Grace and Taylor, like your ride or dies, like in your early to late 20s, like how are you meeting new friends? And I think I could really, even maybe, I don't think she'd be bothered by me saying this, because I think Anna Grace said this on my podcast, but like, for instance, Anna Grace just moved to a new town. Yes, she has Austin, of course, but like she doesn't have like a new BFFFF, you know what I mean? Like that shit does take time, and I think you can really learn how to be by yourself. And like, if we're being completely honest, have I had 100 besties in Nashville? No. But I have had a lot of friends that are not like super close friends of mine anymore. You kind of just like become friendly. It's like, I feel like silly explaining how you become friends with someone, but like, you know what I mean? Like you go out with someone, you find out who like you vibe with, who you laugh with, who you're like, that was fun, I want to hang out with her again, who you're not like dreading to hang out with again, who you're not like, oh god, I gotta go to this thing, like I don't want to go to this thing, like I don't want to sit there and talk to her. Like when you find people like that, I feel like you just like, it naturally progresses. And I think it's this like weird stigma that you have to have, like you have to have a Taylor at my age, and you just don't. Like if you don't have someone that's your BFFFF and you're 29, that's fucking okay. Like we haven't even lived half our lives yet. Like literally half, like not even half of our lives are done. So what I'm saying is like, you have plenty of time to meet these like lifelong forever friends. Like my mom is so close to this woman right now that I think she met like 6 years ago. Her name's Kendra. She's lovely. She's wonderful. But like my mom met her when she was in her 50s. So like, that's okay. And they are literally like thick as thieves. So all that being said, like you shouldn't put too much pressure on having friends, because then sometimes that can be when you're not giving off good like friend vibes and like people are like turned off by you. I think when you naturally become friends with someone, it really is, it just progresses. And don't expect too much. We're at an age now where like I would be so annoyed if my friends expected too much of me. I can't drop everything. We're not 20 anymore. I can't just like stop what I'm doing. And that's another thing. When your friends fucking guilt you for shit, obviously don't miss their birthdays. Obviously don't miss the important things. But like when someone's like, I'm so annoyed you said you would do this, or I want, it's like everything doesn't always work out. Like we're old. We've got obligations. We've got things to do. We've got places to go. Like I'm fucking hungover. I don't want to go. I don't want to do it. Like, but things in life happen, and your friends that understand. Oh, this is a great example. Let me tell you this. So I'm friends with Naomi, who she's on Southern Charm. I'm sure everyone is obsessed with her, because who isn't? She's just fabulous and so beautiful. And I'm friends with her, and I was going to be going to Charleston, and she hasn't met James yet, obviously, but she's heard all about him. And when she was in New York recently for the reunion with Southern Charm, I went out and grabbed dinner with her, and it was just like so much fun. And James and I were supposed to grab dinner with her, and it was going to be great. And I had planned it beforehand, like weeks in advance. When we get to Charleston, we'll have dinner with Naomi this night. And we got to Charleston, and James basically tells me in like the nicest, kindest way, like he's really overstimulated. Like he's met a lot of people. They're all wonderful. They're all fabulous. Duh, they're my friends. I did take him to a baby shower. So like, honestly, like he said, he met a lot of people, a lot of pregnant people at once. And so anyway, oh, by the way, Marcia did weigh in. The UK definitely has baby showers. For sure, they have baby showers and bridal showers. So anyways, she had already moved her tennis lesson. Now, this is the only part that I'm like, this is fucked up. She'd moved her tennis lesson to like accommodate this dinner. I basically say to him, I'm like, do you not want to go to dinner? Like, do you want to just do dinner with just us? And he's like, yeah, but like, obviously, like, if you already have this plan with your friend, that's really fine. I'm sure she's lovely. You've said wonderful things about her. And I was like, here's the thing, James, she's actually my friend. Like, we're actually friends. So I'm going to text my actual adult friend and tell her that, like, I didn't plan quite enough of as much alone time as I thought I should have on this trip. And does she mind? I'm so sorry for the late notice, but does she mind if, like, instead of going to dinner tonight, she's okay with us just going to dinner by ourselves? Guess the fuck what she responded. I could even just probably read it. That might be an invasion of privacy, but no, it's not, because she was just so nice. She was like, oh my God, yes, this is what adult friendships do. Because I told her, I said, I don't want to lie, and I don't want to come up with some crazy excuse of why we can't make dinner now. He and I are still going to go to dinner just by ourselves. I just, like, we've been doing a lot, and I don't think I put enough, stacked in enough alone time. And would you just kill me if he and I just kind of went to dinner by ourselves? And she was like, absolutely, Shannon, please do that. No one could understand that more. Like, and thank you for telling me that, because that's what adults do in friendships, and they don't judge each other, and they're not mad at each other and whatever. And I did tell her, like, literally, thank you so much for, like, judgment-free zone friends. And also she was like, I don't have to wash my hair now for dinner, so this is, like, honestly iconic. Thank you. But yeah, it's just little things like that like, are Naomi and I BFFFFFFs? No. Love her, but we're not, like, you know, like, ride or die BFFs, right? But that's someone that when something like that happened, I was like, God, so much fucking respect, so much adornment. Like, I've always just loved her and adored her, but that is one thing that makes me be like, gosh, that might be a better friend than I even thought it was, because little stuff like that I like collect my friends, and I'm like, oh, she goes on the shelf, she's just a precious little soul. So, like, I don't know, I just take those things, like, really to heart, and those things are really important to me. And I think weeding through friends is something we'll just always be doing for the rest of our lives. Again, I watch my parents be like, oh God, and I'm like, why do you hang out with them? And they're like, well, like, and this is like years past, right? But like, I just know that we'll always be ever evolving in our friendships, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like I said, you don't have to have some ride or die massive BFFFFF at our age and be like, feel like you don't have something like that if you don't. That fucking sentence didn't make any sense. But you don't have to feel any less than you are if you don't have, like, a BFFFF and you're like, I'm too old, why don't I have one of those? Like, it's fine. The same way that we all had friends when we were in middle school and high school, and maybe you're still BFFs with them, and that's fantastic, but maybe, you know, you're not as close to them anymore, and that's also fine. Like, I just feel like friendship has so many stipulations and stigmas, and it ruins the friendships. Like, it ruins it. And also all the stigma that you have to do all this cool shit with your friends. You know, my favorite fucking thing to do with my friends is sit on the couch and not say shit. Literally sitting in silence with people is, like, my favorite form of knowing that you're truly, like, friends with someone is, like, my favorite. So I don't know, I guess I would say the way I made friends was I met Anna Grace, and if I thought about the, like, lineage of me and Anna Grace becoming friends, it took a while. Like, it wasn't, we were just like, oh, hey, good to see you. I was like, I did not immediately loved her, of course, but I immediately wasn't like, okay, I have to see her again. We saw each other again at a party or through another mutual friend, and then I think one of us was like, do you want to do, I couldn't even tell you, like, I'd be interested to go back and look, but none of it was like, okay, this is someone I could really see being my friend. So what am I going to take and what steps forward? Like, it just will naturally progress, and that is how that's how you make friends in kindergarten. Like, it's how we all make friends, and the shit does take time. I mean, I bet Anna Grace and I, like, was a full, like, year before we were, like, sitting at each other's houses with double chins being like, huh, look, and then she's like, huh, and then we're like, huh, look. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're just all a bit old to be, like, spending the night. The only time that Taylor spends the night with me, or I spend the night with her, is really when, like, Mike's out of town or something other, like, comes up. But yeah, all of those things, like, everyone can just take a deep breath and know that we're all at an age now where, like, you can just, like, become friends with who you're friends with, and it doesn't have to be a whole fucking thing. But it takes time. There's levels to this shit, and it takes time. That was a really roundabout way, and that's, like, my hungover brain not really making any sense. But whatever you're thinking about, like, I feel bad because I feel like I get messages a lot that are like, I don't have any friends like you have. And I'm like, that's okay. You don't have to have them yet. You will have them. Like, you will. And it's okay, because be picky. Be fucking picky with your friends. And I do feel so #blessed and lucky to have Anna Grace and Taylor in my life. Like, but truly, like, it's okay. Yeah, it's just like, it's okay. You know, there was a time in my life, a long time, I met Taylor when I was 21 years of my life. I didn't really have, like, a Taylor or Anna Grace in that form of my life. Like, I had friends in college and high school friends, but I don't know. I think it's just, it's all okay. So whatever I can tell you is that it's all okay, and don't stress about your friends, because that's not a good way to get friends, because nobody wants to be hanging out with someone that's always fucking stressed. So calm down, take it easy. I'm either like gonna vomit or something else. I've got to go. I'm actually not nauseous. I did have a pounding fucking headache earlier, and that's kind of subsided, but I just feel like still wildly hungover, and I have heard from many of you that the thing to do is to fucking stick your face. It's like, seems like very James of all of you, but it's to allegedly stick your face in a bowl of ice water. Have you heard of this, Courtney? You haven't? Okay, so we're gonna give it a whirl before Courtney exits the building. I'm gonna stick my face in a bucket of ice water and see if it helps. So hold, please. Okay, I mean, like, I literally couldn't be less fucking interested in doing this. This is exactly what I talked about on the podcast with John and Chris, where I'm like, some things I will just do for content. Because, like, even if this did magically cure my hangover, like, I don't want to do it. I really don't. All right. So we're just gonna, is there a time frame that we have to do this for?
This might be the solution for you. Submerging your face in ice cold water is going to activate the diver's reflex.
Is the video paused, or is her face just in there that long?
Which might help with nausea.
This helps with digestion? How the fuck does this help with digestion? Oh God. Okay, here we go. I really don't want to do it. Okay. Okay. That hurt my teeth so bad. It's so cold on my teeth. Did you get a towel? I didn't get a towel. That is oddly refreshing. Do you have paper towels? You want one off your... That's fine. That's nice. I'm not gonna lie. That's nice. And I think it's because, wow. I did not mind that. I think my face is like kind of numb. I think because I like I'm comparing it to going in the like cold with James. I'm like not interested in that, but that's like your whole body. Like knowing that I was still warm and cozy and it was just my face, it like woke me up. It felt refreshing. I mean, like I definitely feel the same as I felt a second ago. Like my hangover's not gone. Maybe people do like a couple dippy dunks. Maybe it's like a triple dip, double dunked. I don't know, but that was nice. This is so weird. I'm just like wet on this podcast. Okay, guys. We'll be in New York soon. We're going to be playing in a lot of New York podcasts. I might go for round 2 of this dunk. Thank you so much. Peace and blessings. May all your hangovers be far fucking less than mine is today. God bless you. Yeah, that's good shit. It's good shit.